Let's dig into InTASC Standard 3, Learning Environments. And honestly, this one is where the magic happens. Because no matter how good your content is, if the environment isn't right, deep learning just can't take root. Let's start with the statement. The teacher works with others to create environments that support individual and collaborative learning, and that encourage positive social interaction, active engagement in learning, and self-motivation. Sounds good, right? But this isn't just about seating charts or classroom rules. It's about the atmosphere of possibility you create. It's about asking, what does this space invite students to do, to feel, to try? And that brings us right back to our theory of understanding. Understanding emerges in context. According to our theory of understanding, understanding is situated. It's not floating in the air like abstract content. It's grounded in movement, interaction, and affordances. Those opportunities the environment offers us. Think about it this way. The way desks are arranged changes how students relate. The tone you set with your voice shapes how safe students feel to speak. The materials you make available tell students what kinds of thinking and doing are allowed here. Every detail matters because it all signals what kind of learning is possible. Let's break it down. We have performance. Teachers who embody Standard 3 create safe and inclusive spaces that support both independence and collaboration, foster respectful relationships between students and between student and teacher, use classroom management not as control, but as structure for freedom, encourage students to take intellectual risks, to try, to fail, and to keep going. This is about shaping the form and flow of the learning space so that it supports understanding in motion. It's like setting the stage for a play. What happens next depends on how you've arranged the scene. We have essential knowledge. To do this well, teachers need to understand how physical space, social dynamics, and emotional tone affect engagement. The role of motivation, autonomy, and agency in learning. How to use routines and rituals to create a sense of predictability and trust. You're also working with material affordances, objects, tools, tech, even lighting or noise that can either support or block understanding. When we say learning environment, we mean everything students experience with their senses and emotions. And as teachers, we're responsible for designing those experiences with intention. We have critical dispositions. This is about who you are as a presence in the room. You believe students deserve to learn in a place where they are seen, heard, and safe. You value student voice and see your role as co-creating the space with them, not just controlling it. You commit to being responsive, noticing when something's not working and being flexible enough to change it. Let me remind you that understanding is always relational. You can't force it, but you can invite it by creating the right space. And that's exactly what Standard 3 calls us to do. So, final thoughts. Here's the big takeaway. The learning environment is not neutral. It's an active participant in how students come to understand themselves, each other, and the world. Everything in the room, from your tone of voice to where students sit to how mistakes are handled, shapes what students feel is possible. If we want students to grow, we have to design environments that afford growth. If we want students to understand, we need to create spaces that feel alive with possibility. So ask yourself, what does my classroom invite students to do? What kinds of thinking, feeling, and relating does it support? And what changes might unlock deeper, more embodied understanding? Remember, learning doesn't happen in a vacuum. It happens in spaces. And you have the power to shape those spaces with care and creativity.